Hello YouTube! Welcome to a different format of video than my usual. Today we're diving into the massive controversy that is the classified military documents that have been leaked by the Warthunder players over the years. In this video, we'll be discussing the 10 most notorious leaks to ever be posted on the forums. Whether it be about the F-15E, the Eurofighter Typhoon, or a piece of ammunition, there's been a lot. This is only some of them. Before we can get into the leaks, I first have to explain what Warthunder is in case you didn't know. Warthunder is an extremely diverse, free-to-play MMO focusing directly on military vehicles dating back from the 1930s to ones in service in wars happening today. Developed by Gaijin Entertainment, you can play as a tank on the ground, a plane in the air, or a ship in the middle of the Atlantic. The game offers multiple game modes such as arcade, realistic, and simulator. Each one contains a different style of gameplay, difficulty, and realism. The game is known for mechanics such as realistic modules inside vehicles that can be damaged and destroyed, impacting your vehicle's mobility, functionality, and defensive capabilities, along with accurate cannon ballistics and armor physics behaving as they would in real life. The game has grown a reputation for having an extremely controversial community, with some people posting classified military documents just to win an argument. Now that I've explained the game, we can dive back into the document leaks. Case 1. Challenger MBT. The first leak we'll be covering is the Challenger 2 main battle tank. The Challenger 2 is a third-generation British-born tank put into service in 1998. It has seen combat in multiple theaters, even being used in the current war going on in Ukraine. It features a 120mm smoothbore cannon capable of knocking out anything it may face. The Chally 2 is also very well known for its superior armor protection. It's also notorious for its sluggish mobility, being far slower than most of its counterparts from other nations. From now on, I'll be referring to any vehicle with the main battle tank class as an MBT, which is the proper abbreviation for the vehicle. This was the first confirmed leak in the list we'll be going through. The leak occurred in July of 2021 when a player claiming to be the commander of a Challenger 2 MBT posted multiple documents containing extremely sensitive information regarding the tank's armor layout. It contained info about the tank's Dorchester armor and spall liners. The post was later removed and the player was permanently banned. Case 2. AH-64 Apache. The AH-64 Apache is the second on the list we'll be going over. The Apache helicopter is in its own sense a flying tank, a heavily armored, twin-engine flying machine. It was made for advanced combat, being equipped with a 30mm chain gun, missiles, and an advanced targeting system. The Apache can fly night and day, in bad and worse weather. The leak happened in September of 2023 when a player posted the technical manual for the Apache Tech helicopter. Later it was said that the documents were classified and had restrictions since they were meant only for the eyes of contractors and the United States Department of Defense. The documents uploaded were said to contain export controls and sensitive technical data. Shortly after they were posted, Warthunder moderators took down the post and the user who posted the documents was swiftly banned. Case 3. AV-8B Harrier. The AV-8B Harrier is the third on the list. The Harrier is a British aircraft, introduced in 1966 by the Royal Navy. The aircraft features a highly uncommon propulsion system, which allows it to hover stationary in midair, a trait shared by very few fixed-wing aircraft. Later on, the Harrier was adopted into the United States Arsenal in January of 1985. The British used the GR-1, GR-3, and GR-9 variants, while the United States contracted McDonnell Douglas to overhaul the aircraft. They came out with what are now known as the AV-8A and AV-8B models. The leak happened in June of 2025 when a forum user uploaded documents from an Aviate-B Harrier NATOPS manual, which is a Marine Corps flight manual. It's marked with Distribution Statement C, which essentially means the public should not be seeing it. In short, heavily classified. The post included multiple pages from the manual and was removed within minutes of it being posted. Sources suggest the player received a temporary ban. Case 4. DTC-10-125 APFSDS round. Plug! This next case isn't about a vehicle. It's instead about a specific piece of ammunition fired by the Chinese Type 96 and Type 99 MBT. This round was the DTC-10-125 APFSDS. This piece of ammunition is an armor-piercing fin-stabilized discarding sabot, or APFSDS for short. This round is hypersonic at launch. Sources say it shoots out of the barrel at close to 1,800 meters per second, or roughly 4,025 miles per hour. This leak happened in September of 2023 when a forum user was having a heated argument with another one regarding its in-game performance. The user leaked classified internal documentation containing real-life performance statistics. These documents were obviously not published to the public, and what the user did was entirely legal, especially because China takes extremely large measures in classifying their ammunition stats. The post was deleted, and the user was permanently banned. Case 5. Eurocopter Tiger. The fifth on the list is the Eurocopter Tiger. This is a modern, twin-engine attack helicopter designed for escort, anti-tank, and close air support, CAS for short. It first flew in 1991 and was adopted into service by Germany, France, Spain, and Australia in 2003. The leak happened in mid-2023 when a forum user uploaded restricted technical information regarding the helicopter's onboard systems and battle capabilities. The post was quickly removed and the user received a permanent ban.
The Tiger is the first attack helicopter program in Western Europe to rival the Apache in sophistication, size, and power. Its design and production is a cooperative effort between France and Germany. The Tiger is produced in 3 variants to satisfy the requirements of the two.
Case 6. Eurofighter Typhoon. The sixth case on the list is the Eurofighter Typhoon. This fighter's origins began in the 1970s during the Cold War. NATO desperately needed another air superiority fighter to combat enemy craft such as the MiG-29 and Su-27. The Typhoon project fell out multiple times throughout the 1970s and 80s due to lack of funding and disagreements over designs. The first prototype took off in 1994, and it finally entered service in 2003 with the UK's Royal Air Force. The Typhoon was fitted with air-to-air missiles such as the AIM-120 AMRAAM, the IRST, and the BV rams nicknamed the Meteor. The jet also carried an internal 27mm cannon. Later models were fitted with precision strike ordnance such as the Paveway 4 GPS-guided bombs and Brimstone 2 anti-armor missiles. The leak occurred in December of 2024. The cause of the leaks were because the Warthunder community was arguing over the realism of the game's interpretation of the aircraft's captor radar system. Some individuals participating in the argument went as far as to leak restricted data regarding the radar's performance capability in the form of, as you guessed it, classified documents. The documents posted were from the Italian Ministry of Defense. Some sources say Italy's government got involved to ensure the documents were properly and entirely removed. The users responsible were promptly banned.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh la la. Whoa, whoa.
Case 7. F-15E Strike Eagle. This next leak has to do with one of my all-time favorite aircraft, the F-15E Strike Eagle. This is one of the United States' most feared aircraft. For a very long time, it had a kill-to-death ratio of 104 targets shot down to 0 shot down Eagles. Only recently, in the war in Iran, has the ratio changed, not in favor of the aircraft. The F-15 Eagle was introduced all the way back in 1975, during the peak of the Cold War. The USSR came out with the MiG-25 Foxbat, and the United States had nothing to counter it. The United States solved the issue by creating one of the most badass, record-breaking aircraft in the history of the world. The Eagle went on to break multiple speed records, altitude records, along with shooting down a literal satellite orbiting the Earth. Enough glaze. This leak happened in January of 2023 when a pissed off player uploaded operational flight program software manuals for the F-15E. These manuals contained extremely sensitive information, including info about the aircraft's flight controls, targeting systems, along with weapons user interfaces. It was later found that the user did it to win an argument over the accuracy of the jet's in-game statistics. The post was removed and the player was banned permanently.
For the air campaign to succeed, air superiority had to be won. The first phase of the air superiority battle was fought by fighter aircraft like this F-15 Eagle of the 1st Tactical Fighter Wing. The fighters flew combat air patrols, nicknamed CAPs, to protect the wild weasels and attack planes from Iraqi fighters. The United States Air Force's F-15s were joined in their mission by Saudi F-15s, British Tornadoes, and US Navy F-14 Tomcats. Their potential opposition was over 400 Iraqi fighters, including sophisticated Soviet-built MiG-29 Fulcrums and French-built Mirage F-1s.
Michael, don't leave me here. Michael, help me.
Case 8. F-16 Fighting Falcon. For the 8th case, we'll be discussing the F-16 Fighting Falcons leak, which took place in January of 2023, shortly after the aircraft was added to the game. This plane was designed during the Cold War, much like most of the other aircraft in the United States arsenal. The United States started a program called the LWF program, or Lightweight Fighter Program, in the early 1970s. This program had a very strict criteria for aircraft with immense maneuverability and one that could pack a punch. The contract for the aircraft was originally given to General Dynamics, but later on in the mid-90s, Lockheed Martin overtook the deal and became the primary contractor responsible for the plane. The Falcon's first flight was on September 2nd of 1974, but the aircraft would have to wait nearly 4 years until it was adopted into the United States Air Force, entering service on August 17th, 1978. The F-16 has seen combat in numerous conflicts, including the Gulf War, Operation Desert Storm, the Balkan Wars, the war in Afghanistan, as well as operations over Libya and against targets in Iraq and Syria. Most recently, F-16s have also been deployed in the war in Ukraine. The reason for the leak was because people were having a debate on the forums about how realistic its radar performance was. Eventually, they got the bright idea to leak extremely sensitive data on the TWS track-while scan system the radar used, along with statistics regarding the performance of the AIM-120 AMRAAMs the aircraft carried. Gaijin quickly removed the post, and the people responsible were banned. Case 9, F-117 Nighthawk. The F-117 was the world's first attempt at a stealth aircraft. The contract for the aircraft was given to Lockheed's Skunk Works, which started development in the 1970s. The aircraft's first flight was in 1981, and the first production aircraft was delivered to the United States Air Force in 1982. This aircraft was pivotal in air technology and proved stealth aircraft were viable. The aircraft saw service in Panama in 1989, the Gulf War in 1990-91, and finally the war in Iraq. The aircraft proved itself especially during the Gulf War, where it successfully knocked out over 1,500 targets. This leak happened in September of 2023 when a forum user uploaded the Nighthawk's flight manual. The documents contained sensitive information including firing angles for armaments and engine specs. Gaijin's head of PR later said that the user's post was terminated, the files were deleted, and the user was banned. Case 10, M3 Bradley. For the 10th and final document leak we have, we'll be talking about the M3 Bradley. The Bradley was designed during the 1970s along with its IFV brother, the M2. The M3 was a cavalry vehicle while the M2 was a troop transport vehicle. Both are very similar except for very small details. The Bradley saw extensive use in wars such as Desert Storm and the evacuation of Kuwait. The Bradley was entered into service in 1981 and was a direct replacement for the aging M113 that saw service back in Vietnam. The players of the Warthunder community were debating on how the Bradley should be modeled, when a user decided to leak 2 pages of the official technical manual for the vehicle. These pages had the info about the commander's hatch, the location of the armor, and information on the turret assembly. Even though the files weren't formally classified, they were still restricted to the public, for obvious reasons. Like because it's a war machine and not a Honda Civic? The post was removed within minutes of when the user uploaded it, and the user's account was terminated along with the files.
Firepower, mobility, and survivability make a potent weapon system. Operating on the mechanized battlefield with the Abrams main battle tank, artillery, and the attack helicopters, the Bradley fighting vehicle guarantees the United States Army has a combined arms team that is second to none.
Ultimately, the document leaks within the Warthunder community show just how passionately these players strive for complete accuracy, but the question remains, where should we, as a community, draw the lines between being right and being responsible? I'd also like to thank you all for watching all the way through. This video took several days to produce, and to my media class, I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did making it. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.